The Industrial War was upon them. The First World War had sparked and the British were called in to support the French. And obviously because Germany had invaded Belgium during the Schlieffen Plan. But were the weapons that the British used sufficient enough to survive the harsh conditions of the trenches? Let's find out, because here is the overview of the British weapons of World War I. Now, if you caught my British weapons of World War II, then you're going to see some similarities here. But if you haven't, then don't worry. So, let's start off with the standard issue rifle, which is, at the time, the British SMLE Mark III, standing for Short Magazine Lee Enfield.
Hey, you nerd! SMLE wasn't used by all British colonies. Think about Canada for one.
Right, forgot about that. There were two standard issue rifles for the British Empire, because obviously they were an empire, so they could draw in people from Australia, New Zealand, India, Canada, British colonies, everywhere. But the Canadians asked to put the SMLE into production, but the British refused. So a Scottish man went over and gave them their own design, and thus became the Ross rifle, which is the Canadian standard issue rifle. Now, the Ross rifle was a straight pull 5-round rifle, while the Lee Enfield was a bolt action 10-round rifle, both of which were incredibly good, with the Lee Enfield being able to perform the Mad Minute, where soldiers could fire 20 to 30 perfectly aimed shots within a minute. These rifles went through all of World War I and parts of the interwar period. But rifles weren't the only thing that they used. They used machine guns. I'm just going to generalise it as machine guns instead of going heavy machine guns, mounted machine guns, light machine guns and all that. So, the most famous machine gun had actually been unveiled at the beginning of the century, which was the Maxim machine gun. But every country had their version of the Maxim machine gun, so how do we differentiate it? Well, every country took the Maxim machine gun and they evolved it. So the British turned their Maxim guns into Vickers machine guns, which were water-cooled. Well, all the Maxim guns at the time were water-cooled. This could have 250 or 500 round belts of ammunition, firing at around 450 to 550 rounds per minute. Now obviously, you wouldn't be seen running into battle with one of these. These were mounted, unlike the Lewis gun. Now the Lewis gun was a light machine gun, relatively new, which was an air-cooled barrel with the 47 round pan mag, like I've explained in my World War II video. It's pretty decent for trench conditions, for assaults and for defence. So they're pretty much the main British weapons. I would like to talk about one experimental weapon. I will be going over at least one or two experimental weapons with each nation, and that is the Farquhar Hill rifle. Now, this was a semi-automatic rifle, would have been Britain's first semi-automatic rifle, with a 19-round drum mag in a sort of frustum shape. And, well, when they put it into test, they saw it was exceptional. They ordered 100,000 units to be produced by 1919, because they didn't think the Germans would surrender. But ultimately, they did surrender, and the order was cancelled. So if you do find or possess a Farquhar Hill rifle, please do not sell it. Because if you do, although you'll make yourself a lot of money, you will have just lost yourself one of the rarest weapons of all time. So that is the British weapons of the First World War. I did generalise a bit there. But let me know what you think about the British weapons. I did start with Britain because Britain is my home country. I will be doing Germany next in weapons, and I will see you in my next history video for the first Battle of Ypres.